And come with me. Stop. Stop. Get over and let her in. Tougher, let her in. Stop. Stop.
Well, hey folks, and welcome to Solar Cabin Channel. I recently got a puppy this year. I have an older dog that is about 8 years old, and then I have this puppy who is called Tougher, and she is a Border Collie Blue Heeler mix. And she's been a great little puppy, but she's picked up some bad habits that I have to break. She started barking at all the neighbors' cats that come around, and she likes to pick fights with her older sister when they're in the truck, and then they cause all kinds of disturbances and start wrestling around in the truck, which is making it unsafe for me to drive the truck while they were both in it. So I need to train her to stop barking and also to follow commands when I tell her to stop. And I've tried verbal commands, but let's just say that she's a bit of a stubborn dog, and she's been a little bit hard to train. So I went looking for something that would help me to train her. I'm going to go ahead and let her down now. I went looking for something to help me train her, and somebody recommended an ultrasonic training device. And I thought, well, what's that, like one of those little dog whistles? You know, no, now they have these new devices, and this is the unit right here, which I'll show you. And these devices put out an ultrasonic sound that dogs can hear. They're like the dog whistle, but it's an electronically made sound that is at just the frequency that dogs can hear, and it doesn't affect humans. And you can see that it has two buttons on it, and then it has a slide button over here. And what you do in order to use this is you want to still use your verbal commands, because you want the dogs to recognize when you tell them they need to stop doing something. But what you do is you give them a verbal command, and then it has a warning beeper on here. That's the warning beeper, and it also flashes a blue light up here when you do it. And that indicates to the dog that they're doing something that they need to stop doing. Then you can push the top button. Now, I'm not going to push this in here because my dogs are not doing anything wrong. But if you push this top button, then it sends out an ultrasonic frequency that they can hear up to about 16, 17 feet. In fact, I was able to get them to under control at 20 feet. And they can hear that sound, and it doesn't hurt them, but it does startle them. It makes them aware, hey, something's wrong, and they will generally stop immediately what they're doing. And I tried this with both my dogs because they got to barking out here at the neighbor's cat, and I yelled, stop. I gave them the warning signal, and then I gave them the ultrasonic zap, and they immediately just stopped what they were doing, acted like that they just had no clue what happened right there. They both moved away from the fence, got away from it, and stopped barking. And I've used it in the truck. When I put them in the truck this morning to take them with me to ride to town, they immediately started fighting with each other and wrestling around. I gave them a warning to stop, gave them the warning beeper, and then gave them a zap with that ultrasonic, and boom, like that, immediately they just stopped what they were doing, settled right down, sat next to me in the seat, and we had a nice and pleasant ride and safe ride in the truck. And so I'm very pleased with this unit. Now, this is made by Tokego. This is made by Tokego. It is Tokego on Amazon. It says it is a dog barking control devices, dual sensor, ultrasonic dog barking deterrent, three frequency dog trainer anti-barking device with LED flashlight, 16.4 foot range, safe for human and dogs, and it is rechargeable. It has a lithium battery. They do send the rechargeable cable with it. It has 3 frequencies, which you can select here on the side, and it has one that is a steady frequency for when you want them to really take notice immediately. Then it has an intermediate frequency in which I think it goes on and off and on and off. And then it has a variable frequency, so it actually adjusts the range of the frequency. And the reason you use that is so they don't get used to just one frequency and start ignoring it. So you can actually change it around and make sure that your dogs are not going to become immune and stop paying attention to this. Now, this is not something that you would need to use for a long time. I expect that I will only have to use this maybe for a week, and pretty soon my dogs will understand that just when I hit the warning button, or if I just give them the verbal command, they will stop what they're doing, because they know if they don't, then the ultrasonic zapper is going to get them. And so that's how you train them, and then eventually you don't need this at all, probably, I hope. And, you know, you can just use your verbal commands, and so your dogs will start following your verbal commands. Now, if your dog is an easy trainer, you don't need one of these. But if you've got a stubborn dog, a young pup that hasn't learned her commands yet, I think these would be a very good unit. They're safe. They don't harm the dog. You don't have to use one of those electric dog shocking collars. I don't want to shock my dogs, okay? This, all it does is basically annoys them because it's a frequency that they don't like. They can hear it and they don't like it, but it doesn't harm them. But some cautions on this. Don't use it on dogs that are under 6 months. Don't let your kids play with it, okay? Because they might go around annoying your dogs and making your dogs afraid and make them paranoid. You want your dogs to understand that this is a command, just like you're giving them a verbal command, and then there's a consequence if they don't follow the command. And it sure helps and saves you on yelling at them and being ignored. I think it's safer for you, safer for the dogs, and is a great training device. Again, that is Tokigo dog barking control devices on Amazon at a reasonable price. And I'm very impressed with it. I think it's a great unit and will really help me in training my young pup and even my older dog when they are misbehaving. All right, folks, have a great day.